Normally, drinking beer wouldn't be considered a landmark activity, but in this case, it's where you are drinking that makes it noteworthy. The Hofbrauhaus beer cellar in Munich recently celebrated its 400th anniversary with, how else, a beer drinking celebration. The world's most famous beer cellar has been a magnet for locals and travellers from around the globe since the early 19th century. In many ways, it has symbolised Germany to the rest of the world. Beer halls are huge taverns that exist throughout the southern German cities. Hundreds, sometimes thousands of people are able to gather and engage in their favourite pastimes of drinking and talking. The Bavarian ruler Maximilian I built his royal Weissbier white beer brewery in the Bavarian capital in 1607. In 1828, King Ludwig I decreed that the royal alehouse was to become a people's alehouse. Paris has the Eiffel Tower and Egypt has the pyramids, and we have the most famous pub in the world. The people of Munich are proud of that, and they are proud that they get to know the cultures of the visiting tourists. They all sit around a big beer table, around 10 of them, and 3 might be from Munich, 2 from Italy and 2 from America, and they will all be trying to talk together as much as they can. The perfect example of international understanding. Beer halls have a tradition of being venues for political rallies. The combination of beer and politics has not surprisingly sometimes led to fights, even sparking a revolution. The most famous being Hitler's failed beer hall putsch, which took place in Munich at the nearby Burger Braukeller. In 1923, the future dictator was building his political career and planned to launch his bid for power from Munich. He and 600 of his supporters surrounded the packed drinking room and declared a revolution had begun. The coup was directionless, however, and ended in tragedy. More than 20 people were killed and Hitler was jailed soon after. But it was while he was in prison that he perfected a plan that was to take him to power and eventually the world to war. The event became an important symbol of Nazi propaganda and was later commemorated by a stamp. Centuries ago in Bavaria, beer was not just a drink, but a basic foodstuff, and brewers at the time experimented with all kinds of ingredients, causing many hangovers and in some cases even death. This is why in 1516 the authorities issued special brewing laws, the German Beer Purity Law, which still applies today. These days the mix between people from different places creates for many a special atmosphere. We can all meet and sit around a table talking with friends, talking about God and the world, but mainly about women. We have our separate tables, but sometimes we get tourists joining us, and then you learn something new or have a little joke around. That is what life is all about. While drinking beer, you must, or at least you should, have food. The Hofbrauhaus menu is based on the ancient Bavarian taste for Weisswurst, white sausages, suckling pig and pork knuckles. The brewery says that if you put all the sausages consumed there annually, end to end, the chain would be 20 kilometres long. According to legend, one of the Brauhaus guests is an angel, a regular who died and went to heaven. He missed Munich and the brewery so much that God took mercy and sent him back on a mission. Aloysius the angel forgot the mission, but not the beer, and stayed. So there is, for beer drinkers at least, a heaven on earth.